The great American patriot Benjamin Franklin was asked, upon his emergence from the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia in 1787, what form of government the United States was going to have. Franklin answered succinctly, "A republic, if you can keep it." The Constitution has been quietly assaulted by socialists and advocates of big government in recent years. Presently, would-be dictators are emboldened to the point of doing away with it entirely. Well, the Sonoita Elgin Tea Party is our response to Franklin's challenge. We mean to keep the Republic and the Constitution with its guarantees of freedom from government oppression. Like other Tea Party and 9/12 organizations, we scheduled a Tea Party event to bring attention to the socialism that's destroying our wealth, our collective self-worth, and our way of life. This is a pictorial record of that event on March 27, 2010. Well before the event, we organized a group of like-minded, willing volunteers and built a website to advance our ideas. We created a mailing list and distributed flyers advertising our event. We rented a venue, scheduled conservative speakers, and invited conservative candidates to stump for political office. On the day of the event, we set up tables for conservative groups and candidates. We set up the chairs for the attendees and set about welcoming everyone. Our venue was not as grand and our attendees not as elegant as other recent political events. But this was not about us. This is about the country. Following the opening ceremony, which included prayer, pledge of allegiance to the flag, and the national anthem, the founders of the Tucson Tea Party were the first to address the assembly.
When we first started this, we set up as a barbecue for about 150 people in Tucson. That's all I expected when we started doing it. And as time rolled on, there was a lot of interest. I mean, we just said we're going to have an event, and people kept having interest. We had to keep upgrading the accommodations until we couldn't even have it indoors anymore. It had to be in a park. They got bigger and bigger, and we thought, you know what? If this all goes well, we might have 500 people there. You have 500 people there.
Yeah.
Our keynote speaker was a national figure, Tom Tancredo. Tom is an important member of the populist conservative movement. A member of the U.S. Congress for 8 years, he has been a presidential candidate and is a frequent speaker at events throughout the United States.
And he goes, "Hey, anybody tell you look just like Tom Tancredo?" And I said, "Well, yes, often people say that." And he goes, "How does that make you feel?" I said, "Well, I'm getting used to it." How does that make you feel? Oh boy. Well, it is great, absolutely wonderful to be back here again. This is.
Tom was followed by Don Goldwater, nephew of Barry Goldwater. Don can be seen here autographing Barry Goldwater bumper stickers from Senator Goldwater's 1964 campaign for president. These souvenirs were kept by a local Tea Partier. Next, attendees were treated to a roundtable discussion of Arizona state issues by 3 state representatives, David Gowan, Frank Antonori, and David Stevens.
This great bill that we have, we have 16,000 new IRS agents. Who likes that? You gotta be kidding me. How many more do we need? But it also will cut down on our property taxes. Remember, we had the equalization tax that went into effect. It went back into effect. It was gone for 3 years. It was placed back into effect by a veto. Well, in this jobs package, it will cut it down over 3 years and nullify it. So we are looking at trying to get this economy started, and this is the best way we believe we can do it.
Lastly, we all got to hear the candidates in attendance have their say about how they would represent us.
We've got to stop thinking like party. And we've got to start thinking like Americans.
Here, here.
Why do you care about this document so much? Why is this document, the Constitution, so important? This document is so important because it is not protected by liberal lawyers, reporters, and the ACLU. This document was protected in blood by soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines.
Congressman Tancredo hit the nail on the head. This has to be conservatives. If it's Republicans again, we'll be right back here with Barack Obama Part 2 10 years later. Let's take our country back radically, our way. We need ideologues. We need conservatism in this country right now. The amnesty is not an option. Cap and trade's not an option. We will repeal health care. The Second Amendment is non-negotiable. And the war on terror is a war we must and will win. They've declared on war on us. We finish wars in this country. That's what we do.
There was a man about 234 years ago who said that it does not take a majority to prevail, but rather an irate and tireless minority, keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. And that man was an original American patriot. His name was Samuel Adams. He was the father of our American Revolution. And folks, I believe we're on the brink of another American Revolution.
One of my family's lived here in Sonoita for 4 generations. It matters to me. And I tell you, I have never seen a crowd come out like this. And I think now that there are only 2 reasons why Sonoita can draw a crowd like this. And one of them is bull riding. If you come here in the spring, we get folks to show up for bull riding. And it seems the new thing that can bring people out to Sonoita is a socialist in the White House. Freedom is a gift from God. It is not in the nature of man to alienate this gift, to voluntarily become a slave. Our government is not listening to our voices. Our government is not heeding our call for self-control. So we will control it. Every one of you in this room will control our government. We will replace every incumbent politician and bureaucrat in Washington, D.C. My name is Jim Deacon. I am the candidate for the United States Senate.
So, that was the Sonoita Tea Party's first event. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoy bringing it to you, and hope to see you at the next one.